Last night saw the release of the Gran Turismo 7 State of Play, and as we're only a few weeks away from launch, we got a boatload of new information about this return to usual form for the Gran Turismo series. We here at Traxion are rather excited about this sequel, and I'll not drag out this intro too much. In the words of series producer Kazunori Yamauchi, Gran Turismo 7 will represent the pinnacle of the GT journey. We think of it as our most complete GT to date. So without further ado, here's everything we learned from the Gran Turismo 7 State of Play. A popular feature in GT Sport, after driving more than 26.2 miles or 42.195 kilometers, the exact length of a marathon, you were presented with a roulette wheel with 4 cars placed upon it. After it spun for a few moments, one car was randomly selected and it became yours for free. In Gran Turismo 7, however, after completing the same mileage length, you receive a roulette ticket with a star rating out of 6, indicating the quality of your potential prize. Presumably, this can then be redeemed at a later date or even on a set date, as indicated by the 11th of February, as you can see here. This mechanic is a key factor we're awaiting further information on. The Gran Turismo Cafe is used in Gran Turismo 7 to point you in the direction of the next cars to purchase or unlock. Here you'll be presented with menus featuring a category or motor car theme. After completing events and championships, you will earn cars and in turn complete parts of each menu. To tie in with this, events such as the Porsche Cup will deliver categorized race events. Think of it like quests within an RPG, but with cars. You also earn XP in the form of collector points for acquiring new vehicles, helping to level up your collector level. What this level does for you remains to be seen, but at the very least, this is an additional experience point endorphin rush. One element of the cafe is learning about each car's background. There will be the usual museum history stuff we saw in Gran Turismo Sport, but built upon with curated descriptions that will sometimes include stories from the vehicle's real-world designer. There are over 400 cars in Gran Turismo 7, but it's how you acquire them that is the main differential and gameplay hook. Brand Central has been transformed from a characterless menu in Gran Turismo Sport to a virtual incarnation of a car supermarket. Except, of course, once you move past the pretty escalators and well-lit showrooms, a similar menu to select car brands appears. Here there will be circa 300 models to purchase, but crucially only from 2001 or onwards. Anything older shall not be found here, and that's where things become a little bit more intriguing. It's already been revealed the used car dealerships seen in older Gran Turismo titles should be making a comeback, but now we know how it will function. Here, most cars will be available for more affordable price tags than in Brand Central, with most vehicles being either older than 11 years old or entry-level hatchbacks. In addition, not all cars are available permanently. This area will update each day with a different stock list, meaning you must keep checking back to find specific vehicles and, of course, have the requisite funds at the time they appear. For those trying to compile a complete car list, this is your worst nightmare. In addition, cars that have reached a cult status with appreciating values in the real world will see heftier fees charged. The examples given were the Subaru Impreza 22B, Nissan R32 Skyline GTR, and Ferrari Testarossa. Brighton Antiques is once again featured in this Gran Turismo 7 preview. Auto Trader this is not, but think along the lines of a high-end car collecting concierge service and you'll be close. The Aston Martin DB5, made famous by Sean Connery's depiction of James Bond, is one of the valuable cars available here. These are described as legend cars, a hand-picked selection of notable 20th century automobiles. Gran Turismo is not the last word in driving dynamics, nor is it a hardcore simulation, but it is authentic and not the easy arcade racer that some elitists will have you wrongly believe. The automotive physics simulation of Gran Turismo has 25 years of history. Our team gathers feedback from many expert advisors including Lewis Hamilton, top drivers of the FIA GT Championships, and our technical partners at Michelin, explained the game's director. This feedback fuels our automotive simulation, which means the track lap times are consistent to their real-life counterparts and that the driving experience accurately reflects fine sensations. Sounds good, but the proof is in the feedback when we hopefully get hands-on with the game in March 2022. What we can see in this portion of the State of Play video presentation are cars seemingly reacting in a more subtle way to small track imperfections. Again though, let's wait and see. There is visibly more nuance to the car's braking behaviour when it comes to locking brakes, with the ABS switched off, and close-up shots reveal tyre flecks not previously seen in a Gran Turismo title. Smoke effects are now significantly more cough-inducing too. Despite its prior dynamics edging towards the serious scale, Yamauchi is also at pains to explain the game's accessibility. Our aim was to create a driving simulator that all players can enjoy, whether you're a hardcore Gran Turismo fan or brand new to the series. I think Gran Turismo 7 will be enjoyable to everyone. One element that will hopefully ease newcomers in is the use of the PS5 DualSense controller's adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. I'm really impressed with how Polyphony has used the DualSense controller. We all know that Kazunori Yamauchi is fanatical about recreating that driving experience for players. In that context, the DualSense is just perfect, said head of PlayStation Studios Herman Hulst on a separate PlayStation blog post. The license test returns as seen in earlier footage. Some of you, like me, will rejoice. Others will be disinterested. Either way, they are a part of Gran Turismo lore at this point. Mission races also make a return, but this time there appears to be more variety in the event types. There is now the inclusion of drag races, or in GT7 speak, acceleration battles. These see you pull up alongside one AI-controlled rival in a straight-line race. On the face of it, the appeal could be ephemeral, but it could also be a very fun way of trying out new car modifications. Speaking of which, GT Auto is present, an area where you can clean your car and replace its engine oil, for example. This is where you'll also find 650 aero parts, 130 wheels, and 1200 different paint shades to modify vehicles. It's said that in total there are 7,000 customization parts, including the ability to add roll cages and wide body kits. In a rather charming animation, when widening a car's parts, a stretching sound and animation are played. Oh, Polyphony. We are treated to the view of a heavily modified Honda Civic Type R with a larger exhaust, wider wheels, slammed ride height, and a rear wing delete. There's also a side-by-side comparison of a Volkswagen Beetle upgrade showcasing just how much quicker you can make a vehicle by fitting performance-enhancing elements too. Here it seems as if the displacement has been increased in the engine or an engine has been swapped, either of which will add a new dimension to fettling. What's not clear at this juncture is the scope of visual modifications for all vehicles. We suspect the majority will have parts available, but something like under neon lights for a timeless Jaguar XJ13 will not be possible. A significant partition of this recent Gran Turismo 7 information update was focused on the sky, or more specifically, clouds, that will move in a motion that matches real-world locations as time progresses. The stars at night have also been enhanced, reminiscent of the big push in Gran Turismo 6 for realistic night skies. Time, light, clouds, sky, and weather are all dynamic. It rains and the surface becomes wet. Yeah, obviously, as we are treated to Tsukuba, changing from light to dark, from dry to wet, and then back to dry again. There are puddles too that are said to form in quote-unquote known locations, and similarly, the track surface dries in a logical, realistic fashion. However, we've noticed that a lot of the really heavy rain footage is of the diminutive Japanese track, which now includes more detail in the rubber laid down on the surface, but not a lot of puddle action elsewhere. That's because, according to Yamauchi in an interview with Famitsu, the change from sunny to cloudy can be experienced on all courses, but it's limited on the course where it rains. The biggest challenge with time and weather changes this time is not just visual changes, but digital physics simulations. We'll hopefully know which circuits feature the dynamic weather when the game releases. On the face of it, the music rally and music replay is just a cool little feature that's not really worthy of a dedicated mention for many. However, it's also exactly the type of off-the-wall wacky we come to expect from creators Polyphony Digital. The music replay alters camera angles dynamically to the beat of the music. Of course, this was demonstrated with a modern-day remix of Flight of the Bumblebee. Standard. The game's full music soundtrack and whether you can connect your Spotify account to this mode, unlikely but we can dream, are yet to be confirmed. Taking things a step further is Music Rally. We're going to say that again, Music Rally. Take Sega Rally or Daytona's checkpoint system and place the timing markers around the length of a song. Why? No idea. Intrigued? Absolutely. It was made very clear that more cars and tracks will follow after the initial release on the 4th of March 2022. We must say that at this point, a lack of Grand Valley Speedway or notable real-world venue additions outside of Daytona is slightly odd. One scene depicts Yamauchi in front of a Ferrari F8 Tributo with his Sony A7 camera in hand, and at the bottom notice it's noted Jasper National Parkscape available with a future update, release date TBA. Take this as our first form of DLC confirmation. More scapes. Yay? So those are what we feel are the most significant features revealed so far for Gran Turismo 7, but there are plenty more, such as online meeting places, new cars, and the use of ray tracing when the cars are stationary, and a more powerful photo mode. So are you excited for Gran Turismo 7, and which of these either new or returning things are you most excited to get your hands on March the 4th? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to the Traxion channel if you haven't already to keep in the loop about more Gran Turismo 7 content coming your way. But until I see you again, take care of yourselves, keep it pinned, and I'll see you next time.